All right, let's talk about a candidate that the Lions will be interviewing this week sometime. Ex-Houston Texans general manager Rick Smith. Let's talk about his background, talk about his draft history, and would he be a good fit for the Detroit Lions. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And, he worked his way up through the NFL. I think he might have played at Purdue, but it doesn't really say. He did play at Purdue, in the web version. It says he played as in the Purdue Boilermakers as a strong safety from 1988 to 1991. He graduated from the institution, and then he also went and came in. He was a strength and conditioning coordinator as well. Graduate assistant 92. I guess he wasn't good enough to make it to the league. Then in 93, he went to stayed in Purdue as the graduate assistant and tight end coach. Then he went to secondary coach. Then he went to assistant DB coach for the Denver Broncos from 96 to 99, where he won two championships there with John Elway and Terrell Davis, as we already know, if you didn't know. Then he became the director of pro personnel for the Denver Broncos. He became the Houston Texans GM from 2006 to 2017. During that time, he also was executive vice president of football operations. Okay. This is a guy who played the game, who coached the game. He's from Dayton, Ohio. He's done a lot. It says that he oversaw football-related operations in the player acquisition process as the Houston Texans vice president of football personnel and general manager, named general manager by owner Bob McNair on June 5th, 2006. Smith appointment made him the youngest general manager in the NFL at 36. And on December 31st, 2017, Smith announced that he was taking a leave of absence to be with his wife, who had breast cancer, on the 1st of January 2018. It was also reported that he would be gone for a year and that the Texans will hire a new general manager to take his place. However, Smith retained his position as the team's executive vice president of football operations. Smith is an executive and a board member of Provision Academy, a charter school nonprofit organization in Houston that provides educational services for children. Okay, apparently, hopefully, I think his wife made it. They didn't say she died on here. Wikipedia ain't the most accurate, but look at his draft history. So he been here since 2006, and he got a bigger role in 2012. So he kind of been those kind of years run concurrent. So we go to 6, and we kind of look at his draft history. What's your draft history? The general manager, the vice president, whatever the hell he was, they make the final call, but it depends. But he was here since 2006. I say that. He drafted Mario Williams, number 1. D'Amico Ryans, that draft. I remember him. Mario Williams almost had 100 sacks, though, in his career, so that wasn't really a bad draft. But I don't know what they legend mean on here. Hold on, let me go to the bottom, see what they legend mean. They don't specify what they legend mean, but basically when they highlight players' names. So you go down. That was his first draft there. So, sorry for Mason snoring in the background. And then he drafted one of the youngest players in the NFL history, Obobi Okoye. I can't remember his name. He came out of Louisville. I remember he was the youngest guy. I remember watching that draft. Then he took Jacoby Jones, who made that catch for the Denver Broncos. If people remember, the Joe Flacco Hail Mary to beat Peyton Manning. Other than that, let's keep going on. He drafted Dwayne Martin, who was a really good left tackle in the National Football League as well. All right, in that draft, I don't really notice anybody else that he took in that draft personally. So that's the 2008, 2009, Brian Cushing and Connor Barwin. I think Connor Barwin from Detroit. I met his coach at Myers one day. I think he went to, I can't remember, UD Jesuit, but he had 56.5 sacks in his career. Brian Cushing was a good linebacker, just couldn't stay off the juice. He drafted Glover Quinn in 2009, so that might have been his best draft. Bryce McCain, he hung around for a minute. I think he was a slot cornerback. 2010, he took Kareem Jackson, who's still balling for the Denver Broncos. He took Ben Tate, the receiver. The running back. He didn't do much. And then in 2011, that might have been a good draft. He took Whitney Merciless. I passed over 2011. He took J.J. Watt and Brooks Reed. Brooks Reed was solid out of Arizona. Other than that, that's it. They took the backup quarterback DJ Yates as well, 2J Yates as well too that year. Other than that, he took kicker Randy Bullocks in 2012, Whitney Merciless. And that's 12. Brandon Brooks, Ben Jones, the center. He must have been good because he highlighted his name. And also Inkster native Keyshawn Martin. He also took him as well, too, which he didn't do much in the league out of Michigan State. Then you go to 13. He took DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Swearinger, who had an okay career, still balling out there. He would have been better in another. He'd have been better in another era of football. David Queensberry must have been good. They highlighted his name. Offensive lineman. So that was a good year. 2013, they took Hopkins. In 14, they took Clowney, who turned out to be a solid. Okay for them. They didn't really want to pay him. He ain't done much. He already out for the season for Titans, and really that's any only guy I really noticed in that draft. And also they took Lewis Nixon, the interior lineman from Notre Dame. He didn't do much. Then they took Kevin Johnson, the cornerback, in 15. Not sure how he did. Broderick McKinney, inside linebacker, Jalen Strong. So, I mean, they took Will Fuller in 16 his last year. Well, I think 17 was his last year there. Let me double check that. Yeah, 17. They took Will Fuller, his second from last year there. And then they took, in 17, his last draft, that's probably his best one, I think. Deshaun Watson, Zach Cunningham, who balling. Dante Foreman, who's doing good. He got injured, though. So they also took, that's who they took in that draft. So, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, he didn't have the best draft history, but a lot of the guys that I'm noticing, you know, John Dorsey didn't have the best draft history. But then again, I think the whole idea is for the Detroit Lions to find somebody with experience. And I think that's what it is. And I think, you know, a guy who's worked as a coach, you know, wasn't a pro prospect and worked his way all the way up. You know, won 2 championships with an organization as a DB coach. You know, a guy that can see it from both sides, the player side, the coach side, and from the administration side. I don't have an issue with him. And the reason he ended up getting out of there wasn't because his wife was sick. Him and Bill O'Brien to get along. So, I mean, obviously Bill O'Brien to get along with a lot of people. Wouldn't be surprised if they thought about bringing him back. He's still in the Houston area, apparently, giving back there. So, you know, I mean, I wouldn't mind. You know, not just because he's a brother. I always want to see brothers get jobs in the NFL. I'd love to see a brother become an owner in the NFL, which that might be a pipe dream. But, you know, moving on, I mean, why not? You know, he got the experience from the coach. You know, his draft history ain't the worst that I've seen. You know, it might be one of the better draft histories that I've seen, in my opinion. So I'm not a guy that didn't lose his job because he wasn't doing his job well. He lost his job because him and Bill O'Brien didn't really see eye to eye. So, I mean, that could be an issue. That could be an issue there. You know, but, I mean, then again, I want to do it the traditional way. You know, but, you know, at the end of the day, out of all the candidates that they looking at, I mean, John Dorsey, all the internal, I'm not doing no internal candidates. The Lions need to do a purge in their front office. They need to do a purge. They need to fire everybody and just do it from the ground up. Don't forget, they gave Mayhew and LeWine promotions after they went on singing with Matt Millen. They just need to get rid of everybody. Let this man hire his own scouting department. Let this man hire his own coaches, and let them hire their coaching staff. We need to do it over again. Also, they need to change their team colors. Love the Lions colors, but change the team colors, change the name. Become something else and get that terrible history off of the Detroit Lions. You know, but, you know, look at him. He got a samurai sword or some stuff here. He ain't here to play. You know. But, I mean, obviously, I want somebody like Isaac Newsom, you know, that know how to draft. But then again, his price might be too high. And he's supposed to be retired. But, you know, I ain't mad at this pick, you know. But you got to get guys that know how to draft. And the other dude from New York, I forget what his name was, that won 2 championships, you know, he ain't have a bad draft history neither. So, I mean, they supposed to be interviewing a lot of black candidates. So, I mean, I ain't mad if he come in here. You know, obviously he had to do what he had to do for his wife. Hopefully she 100%. She's still, you know, doing well. But, I mean, we'll see, man. But I'm not opposed to hiring him. You know, he need a second chance. He worked his way all the way up to get railroaded by Bill O'Brien, who got the highest payroll in football for Houston, Texas, even though they fired him. You know, and they ain't winning no games. So, I mean, you know, I'm with it. So hopefully, you know, he get the job or somebody get the job and they do it the right way. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Don't forget me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, response, your video request. All my social media links in the description. Twitter's the fast way than Facebook than Instagram. Don't forget you can catch me on my other channel, Goodfellas Sports TV, right here on YouTube for more sports news and entertainment. Want to make a donation? Cash App CJGood313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well, too. Appreciate the love and support. One time for the one time. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. We gone.